guys, Allie with iMore, and today we're going to take a look at the EverDock Duo for iPhone and iPad. Okay, so I've angled my tripod down a little since what we're actually going to be looking at here is the dock itself. The EverDock comes in a couple different forms. The two main ones are the EverDock and the Duo. This is what I have here as the Duo. This retails, I believe, for $69 with the original at $49. The difference is that the regular EverDock only docks one device at a time. These come in the silver, which I have here, a space gray, which I'll show you in a minute, and then a gold. So you can kind of pick their color match the iPhone 5S. I found that the gold and the gray look great with pretty much any phone you're going to put on it or tablet. So first of all, what we're going to do is go over how this dock works. Pretty much you use your own cables for this dock. So if I pull my iPhone up here, you can see that my lightning cable runs to the bottom, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. If you have a case on your phone, you should be able to pull this spacer out and dock your phone that way. What I've found though is it really depends on the thickness of a case. So if you have a thicker case, this actually works better, but if it's too thick on the back, there's not enough room to get the charge port to sit. So this is really actually kind of finicky. I'm not sure how I would feel about recommending this dock if you use cases regularly. If you use your phone naked and your iPad and you don't put cases on it, I think you'll be just fine and you'll be happy with this. So basically what happens is if a case is too thin but too thick to fit with the spacer, you get this gap down here, if you can see that, and it does wobble. So a few people on Twitter pointed this out. I see this issue as well. When I do it with thicker cases, it doesn't really happen. But again, unless the case is just the right size, you're going to have a problem. So we're turning this spacer here. The back one also has a spacer. You can actually dock two phones or, two tablets, whatever you want to dock on here. And since you run your own cables, this will actually work for pretty much virtually any cable that'll fit through here. So I don't think you could probably fit a 30 pin through there. I could be wrong, but it looks a little tight. But either way, so this just sits on here right like this, easy to get on and off, and that's about it. You do have a little bit of a give, but nothing to be too concerned about. You probably notice it more with the iPad because it is top heavy. I will point out one thing. If I have my phone plugged in here and I don't have my iPad plugged in, you can't really see the home button to line it up, if that makes sense. So normally to get my iPad in, I'd have to pull my phone out and then set my iPad in right like that. So overall, it's a very nice dock. It's milled from one solid block of aluminum. So it's heavy. As you can see here, I'm pulling things off effortlessly with one hand. So I'm going to grab my iPad from the top. I can just lift it right off. And this is mainly due to the fact that the bottom of this dock has air pockets, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So it will virtually stick to any surface, which means that one-handed removal is easy. One thing I've always hated about docks is I go, if it's an awkward position like on a nightstand, you go to grab it, you reach around, and the dock comes with the phone. So that's always technically a problem. It's not a problem here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this off my desk and show you the underneath portion. Okay, so before I show you what the bottom of the dock looks like with cables through it, we'll do two things here that'll serve two purposes. So this is the space gray dock, so I'll set this next to the silver one so you can see the color difference. See if I can maybe slide this underneath here. So you can see this one's quite a bit darker. It actually does match the space gray of the iPhone 5S very nicely, or the space gray iPad Air. So looking at this, the first thing we'll look at here is this is the bottom with no cables through it. So basically you can remove this. It says only if needed. I did remove it because I felt like it didn't stick as well without the whole suction pad on each side. So we're going to talk about these spacers more in a second, but I'm going to show you. I'm just going to use a screwdriver to pop one out here because it's easier, but you can use a pen, whatever you want. Okay, so I had to wrestle with that for a second, sorry. So this spacer you pop out of the bottom, it sits right in here. What this does is you run your cord through the back, so it keeps the cord tight. And once you've got your cord run through here, so basically you're going to wind the cord through here, up and through here, and then you put this spacer back in here like this. So then you just snap it down, and that holds your cord in place. So again, we'll take a look at what this looks like on the bottom once the cords are run through. Okay, so this is the underside of the Fuse EverDock. So basically, as you can see here, and ignore the little dust particles that were on the surface of my desk, but these pads are not sticky per se. They're little air pockets that stick to a surface. So, and as you can see, my cables are run through here. So basically how this works is you pretty much just weave the cable through here. There are spacers that come with this, and I'll show you on this side. So basically this black spacer right here comes out. So you put the cable in, and then it's got a little bracket, so then you can just pop it right in. It holds the cable in place, and that should work with pretty much if you've got an Android phone, micro, USB, whatever you use for that. So overall, it's a nice construction, it's a nice idea. I'm just not too sure how I would recommend this with like I said, with a case. So it's very finicky if you use cases. If you leave your devices naked, I am pretty sure you'll really like this dock, and you won't have any issues with it. I don't. If you've picked this up or you use another dock, let us know in the comments. Otherwise, we'll have more stuff coming for you guys soon.